again, the strike force of Hydrone on Creamy is just dominating this map, Toby. That is the big one there.
But Shawnee, Redline ran into the nade and it didn't show bottom left for some reason.
On the kill feed. I didn't see him blow up, but I looked at the scoreboard to see that.
So he just disappeared into Rift Heaven. Yeah.
Redline was on the surfboard heaven. That's what it was. As Devour and SBR are going to try and salvage this game, but Infused have to have this in the bag now. I don't know what happened there, but that was probably the best I can come up with.
At least after Gridlock, Rift Gaming have been brought back down to earth with Infused. Now what they've been doing so far to them on War Machine, it is still a 4v2 situation. Infused just trying to gain a bit of map control, try to gain some resources to cleanly finish this one off. And I think this is going to be Infused's map if they play this right.
Yeah, Devour and SBR are going to see what they can do, but all they need to do now for Infused is use their number game. There's 4 of them, only 2 of Rift, and they just need to make this done and go onto map 4 to try and finish it off.
Yeah, well, Infused are showing
map 4.
The utmost respect.
Is sorry to jump over you. Is Clock Tower.
Oh, okay. Interestings. For sure.
Bear in mind, that was the map that Rift went out to Excess on earlier on in the stream as well, even though it was a little anticlimactic, of course, due to the little interruption we had. But either way, Excess got the job done, and Rift were not able to prove themselves on Clock Tower, and there's a chance that could happen again, where they're in a potential losing situation in that map yet again, Toby.
We will have to wait and see, though, folks. Infused still not made a move. They still haven't pushed up. They're still waiting for the power weapons to be collected. And there we go. The simultaneous nades perfectly timed Infused to force Devour back into his spawn. Devour returns some Lancer Fire. But is it enough? No, SBR is going to get taken out by nades anyway, which will leave a 4v1 for Infused to handle. And I'm sure they're going to do it well. Devour looking for a shot, but he will only be allowed to hit 1 on target as Infused take this map.
And there we go, Infused 1 map away from going into the Grand Finals to take on Excess. Of course, a repeat of the EU Open, apart from the fact, of course, Jack isn't on that team. But either way, it is looking very interesting, isn't it, Toby? Infused just have to get it done on Clock Tower. But Rift could respond back to take us to a Game 5. The possibility is there, Toby. They didn't take a single map until this series, so the opportunity is there for them to try and get themselves back into this yet again.
Let's take a step back, Shawnee, and just trying to summarize this whole match thus far. I think it's important because like I said, we have a huge gain in viewers from earlier. We got 161 now, and I think many people actually missed out on what happened on Mansion. Would you care to run us through that once again, Shawnee, just to try and highlight the events that have passed so far?
Absolutely. So on Mansion, unfortunately, Infused were forced into a 3-man team because their 4th Hydron hadn't shown up yet. And despite this, they managed to fight through and actually win Mansion 4-3 and make the magic happen. And then went on to Gridlock and surprisingly lost quite convincingly to Rift, who somehow picked themselves back up. And then, of course, as we just saw on War Machine, were beaten quite convincingly by Infused for Infused to go 2-1 up in this series with the chance to finish this off and go on to the Grand Final.
And you've heard our predictions, folks, for this match. But what about yours? We had a Twitter vote earlier on the Gout Forum Twitter, by the way. And I have to run through the scores, actually, Sean. I'm trying to find them now. And there we go. I found them. 43% in the favor of Excess. 34% for Infuse to win the whole thing. And only 23% for Rift. So Excess are already in the Grand Finals. They've earned their spot. Infused are winning 2-1 right now. They've got an 11% lead over Rift in the votes. And so Rift are actually the underdogs in votes right now, which I'm surprised about, in all honesty. I really, really am. I'm surprised. I mean, I thought Infused would have been voted at the bottom with the lack of the stable roster thus far until... Oh, excuse me, since the EU Open. And yeah, I'm just trying to wrap my head around those votes, actually, but there we go. Infused still have their reputation to maintain. It seems, like I said earlier, they do not have a single loss to their name in league play, but they were knocked to the losers bracket finals the first team in the losers bracket finals from last session, the last evening we played the first part of the playoffs. But now it's Clock Tower, folks. Enough chatting from me. It is going to be a trick strategy from Infused. This is what I'm talking about earlier, Shawnee. This is exactly what I was referring to. Infused and Barrage Esports, the two opposing teams in this playoffs. They favor this trick strat, and they are getting out of their pockets straight away.
Back in the EU Open, cost Infused this map against Excess, which they then lost the series on. That tactic they ran, they lost when it was 3-3. It's worked out for them so far, but right now, they've just suffered their first death. Phelps has responded in time. 3-3 on the player count, and Graves has that boom shot making his way up.
Yep, made his ascension nicely up to the map control that back pillar provides. You have got a straggler actually for Team Rift Gaming, who are sitting back at the Prism still, and Infuse still need to deal with this. And there's actually two players. SBR is going to get taken out as Infuse respond well to the pinch implemented, excuse me, by Rift Gaming, but it will only be Redline now in the 3v1.
Indeed, and that of course is all up to Redline. Redline going to see what he can do, but it is all Infused at the moment. Their tactic worked out well, and that looks very nicely for them. 1-0 on the scoreboard, and off to a good start they are. Nicely
done indeed. 1-0 to Infused. The trick strat pays off. They have that round null over for this first one, or this potentially a final map actually, because Infused are one away if they can see this clock tower to victory. Let's check out the cameras. It looks like there is going to be two members of this game down now. Phelpsy and SBR, actually. There's two members of Rift Gaming trying to catch out Phelpsy. Phelps forced to push back, and he does get in cover, and nades are picked up for Rift. Phelpsy has down SBR, but I don't think it'll lead to much as the revive quickly comes into play.
Yeah, Ash with a down on SBR there, as you can see. And at the moment, we see a revive ball quite creamy, and he makes it happen. But massive pressure from Infused at the moment, Toby. They are getting straight into this now, and they really want to get this series done. Get the grand final. Grenades out though, and a down on Ash, courtesy of Redline.
Yep, I like how Redline played that craze. Managed to get the sniper rifle, rotating out as a team, but they predicted that. They caught one member of Infused out, and now they see themselves in a numbers advantage. It looks like Infused are going to favor themselves across the other side of the map instead of going for the boom shot. So nicely done, trying to keep Rift contained somewhat and not allow their numbers advantage to swarm them. And Infused will be positioned firmly on the opposing side of the map now.
Absolutely. And Cray is going to try and rotate around with that long shot in hand, of course. Would like to make something happen. He's getting tagged up a fair bit. They're going to try and make their way up now, Toby, using the 3-man numbers, but the crossing on Praise right now, he is hurt big time, and Infused really need to get a kill here, and they do, with SBR going down to Hydro, as Dreamy gets the kill there on Praise, as the down goes in from Devour, but Hydro gets the kill to save his teammate Phelps, but he just gets fire and squatted down there, and it's now up to Hydro in a 2v1.
Yep, still the 2v1 to deal with for Hydro and Infused. Still, well, actually back at the numbers disadvantage. They're looking for a kill now. Hydron trying to pick out one. He's got some good shots on Beast Rider, but it will be the pistol that comes through for Redline at the end. Shake of the Nasher from Devour as to say no there. But, you know, I really like how Infused played that one out. They stretched their legs, Shawnee. They allowed themselves to not get stuck in a corner, and instead they were the ones calling the shots in the map. They went around the opposite side of the map, all the way to up top, and almost brought it to a scenario that they could have potentially won that round, Shawnee.
Yeah, the possibility was there for them to win, but unfortunately it just wasn't quite to be. They did very well, did Infused. Unfortunately, it just didn't quite work out for them. But away we go in round 3 now, as Rift's going to look to try and get into the lead now. It would be ideal for them, but SBI is down! The pistol of Ash takes it down as Redline is about to go down, maybe as Creamy goes down, definitely, but Redline getting away just alive and well, but Infused responding beautifully here.
Yep, 4v2 now. Phelps has the angle on Devour. He will quickly fall, and so will Redline. Infused. The mid-wall battle goes in their favor as both teams go up top, but Infused come away with a great win for that one.
Yeah, they made it happen, didn't they? And Infused 2 rounds away from going into the grand final to take on Excess. We wait to see if they can get the job done, of course, because we still have yet to see the game finish. Rift could take this to a game 5 if they can get it done. SBR checking down the bottom. 2 members of Rift down the bottom, so the grenades will be secured by Creamy in just a moment, and this will allow Infused maybe to try and set up here.
Yep, they are going to get the sniper rifle out. Craze is going to get out alive as well. Has to pause for a second. No, he's going to use his movement and his cover to back away. You saw the Rift team, though. Rift Gaming have actually positioned themselves inside the boom shot now to counter this rotation. Nicely done. Infused changing their minds. They need to go up top, and they've done just that. Hydro executing the down and the kill there as they now have the numbers advantage and look to secure up top control.
Yeah, they should have the top area all sorted out here. Bring me down. And there is now a 4v2. It is all up to Devour and SBR, but in this current form, although Devour and SBR will get a kill, SBR down, picked up by his teammate, takes him down again. Will be on his final down, but will probably get finished before he even gets there. And Devour looking to go in. Infused are 1 round away from being finished here, from finishing it here.
My oh my. Who would have predicted this, folks? Think back, Mansion 3v4. It was not looking good for them, but somehow we have come to a potential round winner for Infuse. Can they see it out? Can they knock out Rift and send them home? I suppose they're still at home, but can they drop them out of the top two? Yeah, that one. Snapchat, that is going to be all over, I assume. Anyway, 4v4 situation. Can Infuse see it out? As I said, Ash being aggressive on that hammer burst there as he normally is, but he's going to take it out as Creamy is downed himself. Devour gets it down on red line. 3v3. Phelpsy pushing through now. It's SBR, great movement by him. Dodges the first shot, puts a good one in instead. Devour takes out Phelpsy, and somehow we have come away with an Infused win for this round.
Oh my goodness me, and that is game. I don't even know what happened there apart from the massive skirmish at the end, but Infused get the job done, Toby. And despite the scare they had on Gridlock, where as a full team they actually lost their first map, they got it together and got the job done, and they will now take on Excess in the grand final.
Who would have predicted it? My oh my. My oh my. This stream is going to be watched back, certainly. I think by Rift Gaming, I mean, it couldn't have gone worse for them. Starting off the 3v4 and losing that, that's going to be knocking really hard on the psychology. The word tilt, as I mentioned earlier, perhaps. But Infused, they come out dominant after losing quite convincingly to Rift Gaming 2 weeks ago, Shawnee. But it was Infused night tonight.
It really was, wasn't it, Toby? And it was a great match, all the same. And, well, Infused rightfully there, but just looking to try and get the job done against Access. And Access, in the form they were in earlier, you have to feel that they are looking to just get this job done. But let's wait and see.
Let's wait and see, indeed, before we take it to a quick break, folks, to try and get this grand final underway as quickly as possible. The bracket is there. I have not updated it just yet, but let me tell you, Access Esports in the grand finals. Rift Gaming knocked down to the losers bracket finals, but they lost to Infused, and thus it remains the original rivalry. R-Damage, aka Access of Gears 3, Infused, aka Apex, some might argue, for back in the day, also known as champions. Who is going to come out the victor? I wonder. Shawnee, predictions right now. I can't wait, my friend. I can't wait.
I think Excess potentially have the ability to do this in the form they were in earlier. It could be done, but Infused have just shown what they're about, and the chances... I don't know, Toby. I really couldn't give you a definite on this one, but I mean, what about you?
Well, let's try and think of this as logically as we can, I guess. Access 3-0 Rift Gaming. Infused just done that to Rift. So, right now, even Stevens, I suppose, looking at the maps, but apart from that one round map win from Rift, they did not have a great performance tonight. Of course, they are out now, folks. It is Infused versus Excess. I don't know how to call this one myself, but we'll revisit it after the break. Folks, please do not go anywhere. Tweet out the stream. Let us know your thoughts in the Twitter, on the twits, the Twitter, can't speak, Twitch chat as well, folks. We'll be back very shortly.